Imminence armaments, imminence armaments, imminence armaments. Hey heroes, Jonathan here at Night Knowledge. This video will show you one of my favorite builds in the Division 2, the Vile Pestilence skill build. This is an absolutely super fun skill-based build that is perfect for playing with others and helps literally melt groups of enemies. You'll spread your statuses like shock, bleed, or burn to all nearby enemies and still do half-decent weapon damage as well. While it does require 2 exotics to make the perfect build, it's still pretty strong without it. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy quick, to-the-point guides that saves you time so that you can get back to gaming. So we'll start with the armor pieces first, and we'll have 4 pieces of the skill attribute based Eclipse protocol that gives 15% status effects, skill haste, 30% hazard protection, and the 4-piece bonus provides a talent called indirect transmission, which causes your status effects to spread on kill to all enemies within 10 meters. Secondary attributes to look out for include either skill haste, skill duration, or status effect. Remember, it's ideal to have the backpack and chest piece, which will give additional bonuses to the Eclipse Protocol 4-piece bonus. If you want a simple build, the next armor piece to look out for is 1 piece of Shiny Monkey brand that gives 15% additional skill duration. The last piece of armor will be the tough one to find, which will be the exotic mask called Vile, which applies a dot whenever you apply a status to an enemy, which in our build will be almost constantly. With these armor pieces, the idea is to use your skills to apply status effects like shock, burn, bleed, etc., which not only applies the Vile dot, but will also spread to nearby enemies on kill. I understand getting specific exotics can be challenging with RNG, so here are some interesting alternative pieces you can substitute in. With Season 7, there is a new and really interesting named knee pad from the Imminence Armaments brand set called Cloak, which has a super unique secondary attribute that reduces threat by 50%, which is crazy and perfect for multiplayer. Remember, if you're looking for a specific set of gear to drop, you can pull up your map and press R to show what zones and activities are dropping what gear sets for the day. If you're level 40 already though, you can do the summit activity and set your priority loot, which makes it the go-to activity to get specific gear. If you're looking for exotic gear, check out a recent video that I put out that will walk you through how to farm exotics if you're interested. In terms of weaponry, all you need to do is get the Pestilence LMG, which applies a stacking debuff that does 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds, stacks up to 50 times, and whenever an enemy dies, this debuff transfers to a nearby enemy with 100% of the stacks. Normally it's better to have a weapon damage build, which increases this dot, but it's more about applying a dot, which also triggers the Vile mask, and when killed, spreads to all nearby enemies rather than Vile's built-in one nearest enemy. All of this synergizes with Vile, which means you've applied 2 dots on enemies from just the gun and the mask. With the 4-piece bonus of the Eclipse Protocol, you'll be applying at least 2 additional dots based on your skills that we'll discuss soon. Once again, while getting exotics isn't hard, it's very random, so you can look out for weapons that deal more damage while the target is affected by shock or burn, or possibly a gun that overcharges your skills if you have 6 base skill attributes, which is what this build recommends. Now let's talk about skills. I personally use the Shock Trap and the Fire Chem Launcher. The Shock Trap is a main mission reward from the Warlords of New York expansion DLC. When you have 6 skill, you're littering the entire area with your traps, which is fantastic for area of control and dealing damage. Just make sure you're not too close when enemies trigger them, otherwise you'll get shocked as well. I always look out for choke points, spawn points, or the biggest cluster of enemies to toss this into. My favorite thing about this skill is that if you let it run the full duration, the cooldown will be done as well, allowing you to have shock traps up almost indefinitely. We pick the Chem Launcher Fire Cloud skill, which works best in a group setting because I've found enemies tend to run out of the cloud while you're switching to your weapon from the skill. It's good to shoot the cloud at enemies already getting shot at and at spawn points, which will hit the most targets. Once again, the great thing about this Eclipse set is that when one enemy dies from shock, fire, or any status, all their nearby enemies will get affected as well. An alternative to the shock trap could be the Stinger Hive, which will cause bleed instead. Coupled with the Chem Launcher Fire skill, you'll be doing a ton of dot damage. I personally find the area control of the shock trap far more useful though. Finally, let's talk about the specialization you should use. I normally would recommend either the Firewall or the Gunner. I recommend the Firewall primarily because it synergizes well due to the Flamethrower specialization weapon, which can burn enemies, but primarily we choose it for the passive talent Enriched Magnesium Formula that increases the burn duration by 20%. If you find yourself running out of ammo too often with Pestilence, you can select the Gunner specialization instead for Supply Line, which regenerates 10% of your ammo capacity every 60 seconds. And there you go. And as you can see from the Heroic Difficulty Summit gameplay in this entire video, I tend to run in the furthest, but it's only to throw out your shock trap. Select a target near the closest group and use your Pestilence LMG, and look out to use your Chem Launcher skill to burn everyone, and whole groups of enemies will just melt in front of you. So that is my Vile Pestilence skill build for the Division 2. Let me know in the comments below what you'd change about this build. Check out the rest of my channel for other videos on the Division 2, video games, board games, and other fun things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.